Hi guys, this is Gene Jensen with BassResource.com. Today we're going to talk about hook selection. I hate for a client to lose a fish because of a mistake that I made when selecting the right, or when I select the wrong hook for the lure or the setup that they're fishing. There are tons and tons of different types of hooks. I mean, we've got straight shanked worm hooks, we've got offset worm hooks. We got EWGs, or extra wide gap worm hooks. We got stroker hooks, which are the ones, with the little screw in them. Jig hooks, they got thin wire and thick wire and heavy wire and super line, whatever, and it just goes on and on. But the thing to consider, one of the things is forgotten the most, and something that really needs to be remembered, is what type of hook am I using, as opposed to what size line and what type of rod that I'm using. I would not fish this jig with this heavy wired hook. I would not fish it on a medium or a medium light, with 10-pound test line, 12-pound test line, because when I try to take a rod like that with light line and set a hook that heavy into a fish, it's not going to go in. So the chances of me landing that fish are slim to none. That's why we fish big heavy jigs on big heavy rods. This is a heavy action Duckett rod with 20-pound test fluorocarbon on it. That way when I set the hook, I know that hook is going to penetrate into the thickest part of the fish's mouth. The opposite end of that is if I'm fishing 8-pound test line on a Mojo rig, I want that lure to float up a little bit. I don't want a lot of weight on it, so I'm gonna go with a very light wire hook, the smallest one I can get away with. This is a #1 offset hook. I use this on trick worms. I use this on all the straight worms that I'll fish, the straight tail worms that I'll fish a Mojo rig on, or fish anything else that needs to be light. On a Carolina rig, same thing. I'm gonna go with the lightest hook that I can get away with, because I want that bait to be able to float up a little bit. When I'm fishing grass, I'm going to go with a straight shank worm hook. This is a little bit heavier gauge wire than the light wire that I usually fish, so I might fish that on 10 to 12-pound line with a medium heavy rod. You got to consider this. If not, you're going to lose a lot of fish. A flimsy rod cannot set a heavy hook. A heavy rod will straighten out a light wire hook. So think about it before you rig up. Think about what you're doing. One of the questions that might come up for this video before I end it is going to be, what size hook am I going to choose? I try to fish, personally, I'll fish with the smallest hook I can get away with. Like I said, I mean a #1 worm hook on a big trick worm. I mean, I love light hooks, just because you get the best, or short hooks, you get the best action out of that soft plastic with shorter hooks. So it's more of a confidence thing. So pick the size that you feel the most confident in, and then make sure that the gauge of the wire matches the rod and the line that you're using. Like I always say, visit BassResource.com for the answer to all your questions about bass fishing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that little like button down at the bottom, helps other people find the video, and have a great day. My rig. Oh yeah. Look at that. That's what a double fluke rig can get you when they're schooling. 4.5, 5. That is a fish.